living in Southeast Asia, and this botanical was all around me. And I realized, wow, this could be the next big one to change the world of health and nutrition. It almost didn't happen.
I've never witnessed a person more humble and more down to earth with bigger dreams than what Joe Morton possesses.
When I think of our upbringing, I think of it fondly. You know, at the time when you're growing up in that kind of an environment out in the country, you wonder, oh, is this really what I want in life? And as I've grown and developed, both Gordon and I talk about it regularly, how we'd love to be able to be back in that kind of a setting. I remember my mother taking us and showing us botanicals, but not just showing us them, but showing how they benefit our human health. At an early age, my father started a Canadian division of a network marketing company in our home.
Selling nutritional supplements in our basement. So we would have, as a growing up experience, it was fairly common to have people coming and going even at unusual hours.
Even as kids, we'd help pack orders, and we'd help go to conventions and meetings, opportunity meetings.
And here you had Joe sitting in the shadows of his older brother. Kind of the guy behind the scenes, just observing.
Joe is more driven than I am.
To me, network marketing and the nutritional industry means offering people a way to change their lives. And I always wanted to be a part of that.
I really wanted to change the way that botanicals and nutritional supplements were marketed.
You know, Gordon is a people person. It's a guy like him who actually ended up becoming a distributor in this industry. And not just a distributor, but the top distributor.
He's always been a mentor of mine, and followed him a lot throughout my life.
All of that adds up to the story, to this one day that Joe would be sitting in the country of Malaysia.
He speaks French. Somehow his French skills got him in the international department. He ends up getting sent to Malaysia and taking a one-year general manager's position over, you know, an entire country.
I was thrust into a leadership position very quickly at an early age, and that was a very challenging point in my life.
Every afternoon at about 4 o'clock, I'd get a call from Joe, and I'd call it like therapy hour.
Yeah.
Because Joe was sitting there in Malaysia.
This had been the most difficult experience professionally I had in my life. And there was a moment in time where I actually felt like I wanted to kind of give up, wanted to quit.
I was actually experiencing the sights, smells, tastes, sounds of Southeast Asia. Now, you're disconnected living halfway around the world.
And I phoned my father, looking for some sympathy, looking for him to maybe understand and say, hey, it's okay, Joe, come on home. But I received a different message. The message was basically, you need to stay. You are a leader. People are looking towards you. You must stay and you must lead. You know, as I changed my attitude, came back to that dream of bringing a botanical to the world.
On one of the calls, I remember specifically him being pretty animated about having tasted for the first time mangosteen.
And all of a sudden, it clicked. These dreams, this build-up, this upbringing, the questions that he asked and had answered on all types of botanicals throughout his life, all of a sudden culminated in this one moment of time when he finally discovered this fruit he'd never heard of.
I saw all these new botanicals that I'd never seen before, like longan and lychee and rambutan and durian, but none of them had the folklore and none of them had the science behind it like mangosteen did, like Garcinia mangostana.
Hey, did Mom sell that in her health food store? No. Did Dad sell it in his nutritional company? No. And I think at that point we realized we had some commercial value.
In order for it to be good for you, it has to taste bad. And that's what it was like growing up. But here I was, a fruit, a botanical, that tastes phenomenal. They call it the queen of fruit. And yet it has all this folklore use behind it. And so we approached my brother, Dr. Morton, who was doing a PhD at the time. We said, Dr. Morton, can you take this botanical, can you look at it, and can you see if there's any science behind it?
He came back and said, you guys realize what you have here. He's just started going through paper after paper after paper of research that had been done in universities throughout the world.
The rind of the mangosteen has polysaccharides, it has proanthocyanidins, it has xanthones, which was a new class of phytonutrients to us.
Xanthones. Gordon, Aaron, and I looked at each other. Are you kidding me? Xanthones. Never heard of it before.
It seemed like somebody presented us with an answer book that said, hey, you've got the product, the validation, the science, and a commercial market for it. And
it was a feeling in that room that we needed to do it, and we need to do it now. How do we bring an exotic fruit to the world, one that's never been brought to market before? We decided to do it in a beverage, use the whole fruit, the peel and the pulp of the fruit.
That's when I wanted to call it the Mangosteen Plus Plus Company.
It was very catchy.
Aaron said we are going to brand this product so strong that when anyone talks about xanthones, when anyone talks about mangosteen, they will have to talk about our product. It was at that time when Gordon said we were going to find a way to make sure that we give back a portion of our profits to children's charities, and that we will make a compensation plan that will make industry leaders' heads spin.
We wanted to come up with a word that was fun.
We decided the three of us would lock ourselves in a room and not come out until we had a brand name.
Go on to represent something bigger than just red liquid in a bottle.
And it was Gordon connected mangosteen and xanthones together and came up with the name XanGo.
Gary Hollister. He is an amazing leader.
He handed me a stack of studies about 1.5 inches thick and asked me to take it home over the weekend and form my own opinion. First thing I did Monday morning was to call Aaron and say, we have got to find a way to bring this product to market.
Brian's a salesman trapped in a lawyer's body.
I was ready for a change in my life. And one day Aaron said, Brian, what if the magic could be restored? Would you be interested in being a part of something that would bring it back to life? I said, absolutely.
The financial genius of a Kent Wood. He has audited some of the biggest companies in the industry, bar none.
It was a short window of opportunity that we had to launch XanGo, so we acted with urgency and scheduled our first board meeting at my house. It had to be there so that I could watch the children. My wife gets home. I introduce her to my 5 new partners, let her know that we're starting this company, and oh, by the way, I quit my job.
It was coming together. It was starting to happen.
We knew it was right. I knew it was right. And yet, every single one of us, we'd mortgaged our homes, we'd mortgaged our cars, our wives and our children, and we were set to go.
I often say to Aaron, Aaron, you are meant to lead great companies.
Congratulations, XanGo.
So we got ready to turn the switch, if you will. And all of a sudden we realized we didn't have enough fax machines lined up.
It just started to roll and roll and roll, and faxes were coming in and applications were coming in so quickly.
People began to dream like Joe Morton. They began to believe again.
Starting with nothing, and yet within 3 months we were in the black.
The fast growth continues, and it hasn't let up since the day we opened our doors.
And in the end, it was created twice. It was created here, and what you see before you. And I'm here to tell you there are things that people haven't even seen yet that we talked about, that one day will roll out into this company.
XanGo is a company built on dreams. From my dream of this product, to the dreams of my partners, to the dreams of millions of people worldwide. Welcome to XanGo, a company where it's safe to dream.